Beautiful and strong people, welcome back to the lesson 6. Today we're going to talk about the touch point and how to find the sweet spot with the touch point for the mastery in the bench press. Precision at the bottom equals power at the top. That's what I want you to actually remember as you're actually going through this lesson. Before we're going to talk about why the touch point really matters, I want you guys to take a look at two distinct videos and try to identify what the difference is. Okay, so let's start with the first one. I'm going to stop it just at the bottom. Let's see if I can actually find the bottom right here. And let's say this one. And I'm going to try and catch the bottom position too. Well, it's not exactly the... If you notice the position of the legs and the touch point on both of these cases, you're going to notice some differences, okay? When I have my feet a little bit more tucked, you're going to see that I'm tending to flare my elbows a little bit more, and the touch point is a little bit lower on the chest. So instead of actually being somewhere around my sternum, is actually on the top of my abdomen, okay? When I have my feet a little bit more in front of me, I'm flaring the elbows a little bit more, and the touch point is a little bit higher on my chest towards the sternum or the lower part of my chest, okay? Remember, this is the same grip. So I'm using exactly the same grip. The deep width of the grip is the same. The only difference is actually the fit position. So I've actually changed the bar path only by changing how I'm actually using the leg drive. Okay, in this position, I'm using more of my hips to keep me rooted and fixed into the bench. And in here, I'm actually using more of my quads to keep me rooted and fixed into the bench. The bar path will change based on leg drive. The bar path will change based on how you're actually putting your feet. The bar path will change based on the grip, whether or not you're actually grabbing the grip wider or narrower. The narrower the grip, the more of a tuck you're actually going to have, and that's going to engage more of your triceps into the movement. The wider the grip, the more flare you're actually going to have into the bar path. And that's going to engage more, it's going to put a little bit more stress, a little bit more strain around your shoulders and respectively your chest. This is not a right or wrong situation. This is very individual to each and every one of you. So through the coaching process, we're going to see which kind of position is most advantageous for you and which kind of touch point makes you transfer as much force production to the barbell as possible. So the touch point will influence a lot of the shoulder safety and press efficiency. For example, if you're an individual that usually flares out and has some discomfort around the shoulders, only by changing the way you're actually having your feet, you may potentially be able to go more towards a tucked position, which may potentially, let's say, get you away from some of that discomfort. It's not a one-on-one situation, but it really depends on where the pain and why the pain is actually there in the first place. If you're having some discomfort, for example, around your elbows, and you're already adopting such a position, maybe trying to flare a little bit more may be a good idea. So instead of actually having your feet a little bit more tucked, you can actually try and explore having your feet a little bit more in front of you and using more of that quad dominant leg drive. So this is going to differ a lot based on what feels natural to you. It's going to differ a lot based on what your pains and aches are. And it's going to matter a lot on your length, your mobility, and a lot more that actually comes into play. So through the coaching process, we're going to find exactly what fits you the best for the touch point, but also for the fourth generation. Absolutely key to the bar path and the touch point is going to be the descent. The descent has to, first of all, bring as much tension as possible into the setup. Okay, so you have to maintain the wedge, you have to maintain the leg drive, so you're holding that tension. You want to do it controlled, so you're not dive bombing the bar, but instead you're actually building even more tension by actually loading your lats and using those lats, that tension that you're actually building into your lats, to actually launch the barbell. So you're going to watch it here, how I'm having a really good connection with my lats. I'm going down in control, and after that I'm thinking about pressing myself away from the bar. So I'm really pushing my upper back into the bench, and that's exactly the way you want to think about the press, in which we're going to go in the next lesson. But key to a controlled touch point, key to finding the sweet spot with the touch point, is going to be patience with the descent. If you're rushing the descent, the bar path will go all over the place. So you actually need that time under tension to find the right position so you can actually have a good press. So this is going to conclude the touch point lesson. In the next one, we're going to talk about the press, finishing the movement with precision. If we got the touch point right, if we have the right setup, if we have the leg drive engaged, if we wedged properly, and if the arm rack was on point and our grip is solid, the press will just come by itself. So catch you on the next one.